Thank you guys for joining in today. Before we get started, let me just quickly introduce Mohit to all of you. Mohit is an avid tourer who is just 23 years old and he has already ridden a lot, like a lot. And he has one of his biggest rides has been from Jaipur all the way to where was that? Malaysia. And yeah, and he's done some crazy rides in Ladakh, in the Indian Himalayas, in Annapurna in Nepal, and Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and you name it, and he's done something or the other, some crazy stuff over there.
That's what I did.
Yeah. So yeah, so the idea is that Mohit will help us understand what is the best way to go cycle touring in India. But before he tells us how to do it best, uh, uh, we are going to he's going to share some stories of his with us about his travels. Right, Mohit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first, tell us, why did you start cycling?
So I think I was in my earlier teens and I used to play football, five-a-side futsal, and I had a knee injury back then, and it all started with recovering my leg from that injury, and I started loving cycling more than I used to play football,
Okay.
and that's how it began, like slowly, slowly, slowly.
So basically, an injury forced you to start cycling.
Yeah. No, I started enjoying it. It was like the injury get me into cycling.
Okay. Okay. And where was your first ride?
First ride like a tour, or
Yeah.
I did Kashmir Kanyakumari. That was my first ride.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just
I
like
was
started off one day, decided, let's do something small today. Let's go Kashmir to Kanyakumari.
uh it took me I guess 6 months to just keep planning and all, but it randomly happened. Like I kept planning on doing Manali to Khardungla, and suddenly I was like, no, I just want to do this across the country. And it took me 24 days, and all that 24 days was just riding, riding, riding. And that made me realize, like, I came all the way from top to bottom, but I haven't seen anything. That too made me realize, okay, the world is so beautiful, and there are so much is to learn from the roads,
True.
and that's how I got into bicycle touring.
So what route did you take from Kashmir to Kanyakumari?
I did the Grand Trunk Road, and
The Grand
from
Trunk Road? That goes to Howrah.
no, 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 no. From Punjab to Delhi, that was the same. From Himachal, I came
Okay.
down,
Okay.
and then I went to Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and so on, so on, so on. But
Oh, you went
there,
down the center.
down the center, yeah, yeah.
All right.
NH7, I guess it. Now it's called NH42.
Okay.
Somewhat,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
And the
4,000 plus kilometers.
4,000 kilometers. And
Yeah.
was this solo?
Yeah, it was solo first.
And
I
how
have no
old?
clue how. I had no clue how to do it, and I was 16 and a half or about to get 17.
Okay, so let me just change this camera setting. And this is the bike.
Yeah, this was my setup. A
This was your setup.
Firefox and a backpack. Yeah.
That seems very professional.
Back then it was.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it does look. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
My shoulders still, curse me for that.
I am sure. I am sure. Then, when you went from Manali to Khardungla later on, how different was
Yeah.
riding Manali to Khardungla compared to Kashmir to Kanyakumari?
It was more planned just because Kashmir Kanyakumari was just an impromptu tour. Like I was planning to do something, but not Kashmir to Kanyakumari. But Manali Khardungla, I have planned, and I was more educated by the gears what I wanted to use. And back then, when I was doing Kashmir Kanyakumari, I didn't have a camp or a sleeping bag or something. I would just have a fleece blanket, and I just
Okay.
set off. and it was nice. Although I really like to ride in the Himalayas or mountains and all. So
Yeah. So your Manali to Khardungla was again solo.
yeah, so no, it started with a friend from Nagpur with whom I met during Kashmir Kanyakumari. Like
Okay.
I just met a guy and then he was like, "What are you planning next?" And then we started doing till Darcha. We were together, and then he was on a different pace. I was on a different pace, so we split
Okay.
from that. Yeah,
So are you all still friends?
yeah. His name is Lucky from Nagpur.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Okay. So was there anything a highlight of Manali to Khardungla other than of course reaching the top?
Uh, so I got AMS. I was not at all like familiar or known for this thing which can happen in high altitudes.
Yeah.
So that was uh, a stop from a tour in Leh, and then I was in the hospital with oxygen and recovering,
Wow.
and then all happened. Yeah.
And how old were you when all of this happened?
Yeah, 17 or yeah, something 17.
Still
Like
underage.
four, yeah, underage, yeah. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, what were you saying?
So yeah. So basically, I know after your schooling, after your 12th standard, instead of
Yeah,
doing college, you decided to go riding, go cycling, and learning on the saddle. Tell us a little more about that.
yeah. So, uh, while I was in school, I wanted to do something for myself and not join a college. I have gone through the entrance exam, but then I thought like I just wanted a break for myself and explore myself plus the world. And I set from Jaipur towards Malaysia, and again I, I was about 18 or 19 back then, and the major issue was the funds. So
Okay.
finding sponsors and supporters for your ride was the big deal. Then getting a mind to ride.
Well, now you have someone saying, I am a Mohit Raj Kapoor fan, so I don't think you'll have problem finding sponsors. That is by proof.
No, I would love to not have sponsors just because they have some, but
Absolutely.
it's always good to have them to support you while
Yeah.
gears and all. Just because
Yeah.
sometimes when you want to do some expedition and there are some gears which are over budget, that
Yeah.
you can't afford them. So it's good to they love what you do. And like I am with Marin Bikes from last 4 years,
Okay.
and they always love what I do. Like even if I go on a crazy ride in Annapurna, they'll be like, "Okay, yeah, we are with you." So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to show a picture from your Singapore ride. I think this is from, sorry, Malaysia ride. This is
Yeah.
from Thailand. Tell us
Yeah,
what in the
yeah.
world were you doing here? I don't see any cycle in there.
So back then I got some fund from crowdfunding and all, but I
Yeah.
have to support myself with uh, more money while I am on the road. So I used to work from different places. So this was work with some kayak tour guide I randomly
Okay.
met on the road, and he was like, okay, he was interested, what am I doing camping in the nowhere on Thailand highway. So he invited me home, and then while having dinner he said, yeah, I have a kayak tour tomorrow, will you be interested joining or helping me? And I was like, yeah, why
Okay.
not? So uh, so the deal was he'll pay me a little and he will teach me how to kayak. So
Okay.
for 5 days, I used to work. I have worked with him, and in the morning we go with his clients, and in the evening he used to take me with his kayak and his two of his friends, and they
Okay.
all teach me how to do kayaking there.
So did you learn kayaking properly?
Yeah, I am scared of water, so yeah, I really enjoyed having time on a kayak.
Good that you took up cycling. Water is far away, or maybe not.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, you have to tell us why are you Master Chef out here?
Okay, so my Southeast Asian tour was just to learn the food culture, and
Okay.
I was working on a different restaurants, uh, like whatever work I get, like it didn't even matter back then, like any
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what were you cooking over there?
So this dish was called Nazi Ayam. So it's like fried chicken with rice and some soup.
I presume you're not vegetarian.
So yeah, I when I started, I was a vegetarian, or so-called vegetarian, and uh, then during the tour, there are so many countries and so many places. I would say that they are hardcore non-vegetarian, and then to survive, I have to go with that food.
Okay. So you're basically your cycling made you a non-vegetarian.
Like while you tour, you don't have to go with the food or
Yeah.
nutrition. You just have to eat whatever you get.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because having a energy pack every time won't sustain you last long. Like you just
Sure.
have to eat whatever you get.
Sure. So I have got another picture of you. I'm going to keep shuffling between your pictures for a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of minutes. This is where.
This was Thailand Cambodia border. So
Okay.
it's called
Who
Poi Pet
who
border.
who clicks these photographs?
Random people, I just asked them, or I put the tripod. This was tripod, I guess.
You put a tripod in the middle of the road.
I need a picture from the gate.
That's a good job. I will show another picture where, yeah, what happens when you put tripods on the road and you put other stuff on the road, you get caught by the cops.
Cops, yeah. So I was in North South Express Highway in Malaysia, and they caught me first day. I said, "Sorry, sir, I didn't knew the way." So they went me to another road, and that was a thrilling experience. And then next day again, I myself took a step, went to the highway riding, and these two men found me again, and they took me into police station for 2 hours. That
The
one guy
same police
slept.
guy.
Yeah, yeah, that was the thing. Like,
Wow.
if there was a different people, they will do that the same thing. But yeah, they took me to a police station, and yeah, I got coffee for free.
So how do you communicate? Is a language a issue? Like, does English work?
In Cambodia, no. Like, I really struggled with language. And there was a time I had a conversation with entire family sitting in front of me with the Google Translator. They write something in their own language and they translate into English, and then I listen and read about that. And then we talked like this for like 2 hours. So,
Wow.
and
You
sometimes,
really?
uh, there are moments on the road that I am sitting and people are, curious to know more about me and they don't have that common tongue. So they just sit and share the food. So
Yeah.
that is also, way of communicating and having a good time together.
Yeah. So as you say, traveling is a lot about interacting with people. Tell us about this
Mhm.
particular photograph.
Oh, yes. I was working in an orphanage in Cambodia near Siem Reap. So they rescue kids all around Southeast Asia and give them family food. And this all project is running from a big butterfly garden, which they organically fuse butterflies, and the tourists can come and they get money to support the orphanage from them. So it was really nice having kids around you and playing with them in the morning, farming and all.
So how long would you stay in each place along the way
It
on this
depends.
ride?
It depends. Sometimes it was 2 days, sometimes 1 week, sometimes it was 1 month also. So
1 month. So how long
yeah.
did your ride last?
It took me 12 months
12 months.
to
So
all, yeah.
basically, you
It,
became an adult on the road.
yeah, like I don't want to just keep on riding
Yeah.
every day. So,
Yeah.
the journey was to explore and learn different cultures. So that
True.
was my main motto from that journey. So yeah.
Okay. And another photograph I'm going to ask you about.
Yeah. Oh, they
Oh,
are Katya and Mirko. I was sleeping under a tree. It's a very good story. And back then I thought nobody do touring in India. Like I am the only fool on the road dragging my bike in the hot sun. And these people came and that's we sat and have lunch. Since then they are my family. Like whenever they are in India they come home and we have good time. And these people are on the road from last 15 years, 15 20 years.
wow. Where did you meet them?
On the highway,
No,
some
I mean,
random
which highway?
highway.
You've been on too many highways.
I guess it was somewhere in India itself, some near
Okay,
Himachal. Yeah.
okay, okay. So lovely. So, why that highway looked rather big, and this camouflage guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So in Cambodia, I was in some remote areas where it was really difficult to find water. And in on this stretch, I remember it was 50 plus or around 70 kilometers where my all bottle was empty and I was looking for help and this random guy came as a miracle gave me two cold water bottle. So yeah,
So
you
there were
you
no
think you are
screens.
alone,
Yeah.
you think you are alone but you are not. There are people
Yeah.
around you and they just randomly pops. There was one time I was camping in somewhere in Vietnam or Thailand and like in front of a supermarket store. So
Yeah.
there was a guy who wrote a chit and gave me like 5 days of breakfast, like peanut butter, Nutella, whatever you say, like a big bag of that.
Wow.
And he left. He said, I wanted to talk to you, but he was late from the work. I still don't know who he is. But he just dropped
Wow.
me the stuff and he left with a sweet
Amazing.
letter.
Amazing. Those are guardian angels you've got.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And a very scenic camping site of yours, since you're talking about camping. Where did you find
Uh,
this beautiful place?
Uh, so it was a highway and it is actually in front of a police station. I was camping in middle of nowhere in Cambodia and camping is not allowed in Cambodia. So
Okay.
there was police in the evening around 7:38. They caught me camping and they were like, it's not allowed. So I was too tired. I asked that guy, okay, you wanna drag the bike? You drag the bike. It's 5 kilometers. I'll sit in the bike. You drag my bike. I am good here. So I ended up staying in a police stations, and also I learned the trick. Like it's also funny. Like every day around 5 to 5:30, every people drinks there, and it was like
Okay.
the my silver lining thing. Like I'll go to the police station myself, and I'll say I am too tired to go to next town and get a hotel. Can I stay here? So you get free food, free stay, and good company to talk to
In jail.
in jail.
Have you thought about running for politics in India, since you have so
No,
much experience now?
no, 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 no. Out of this. Completely out of this.
Yeah. Tell us about this very cool looking photograph.
Uh, so it was in Rajasthan. Me and two of my friends were roaming around Bikaner and Jaisalmer. It was super hot, and we wanted to have a quick break. And to hide from the hot sun, we just went inside this pipe, sat for like an hour, and took a break.
Wow. So you were like literally sleeping in that pipe there.
Yeah, like whatever place I get, it
Yeah.
doesn't
I hope you
really
did not
matter.
find any snakes or anything in there.
Not here, not at this point, but yeah, there are some times where wildlife comes and say hello and goes back.
Okay. So tell us more about your Malaysia trip.
Malaysia trip was a U-turn from my life, whatever I was planning to do, and it made me realize there is so much to learn from the road itself. Like, I call, or I would say, I say that roads are the biggest universities in the world, and
Yeah.
every time you're on the road there are so many people who can teach you good life lessons and you can learn different kind of things which you really don't even plan or you end up at so strange place and that will give you a good experience or maybe bad experience which will give you a good lesson.
Basically, you feel you've learned more on the road than you would have done in college?
Yeah. If I have been into college, I would be that, wanted guy who just wanted to run from the classes.
Okay. Now I'll show another wanted guy picture of yours.
Yes, again, I I don't know. I was very every another day I was caught by police to do something stupid from their view, and this was
But
also
when the
a
police
same day.
catch you should not be smiling so much, man.
I used to enjoy that. I don't know. Like
That's a selfie with a cop and you're like smiling over there, like, yay, another one.
another one. Yeah.
Yeah. So after your Malaysia ride, what was your next ride, next big ride?
Next bigger ride, I think. No, I came back home and started looking for works, and I have worked with different adventure travel companies. And then I decided to go to Spiti in winters, and
Okay.
it was back in 2018, I guess. Yeah, 18
Which
winters.
which which month was this?
Late September, October, something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is riding in the high mountains in winter? How
Oh, it was
different is
cold.
it?
It was bone freezing cold. But it was
And
nice to, during that season, there are not so much tourists, and you can be like, I am anxious with people, a lot of people. So I just find myself into a place where, nobody's around. But I love to
okay.
talk with locals and all.
Okay. So is there any special preparation you need to do for riding in winter out there?
Yeah, actually. Like you need a good sleeping bag for sure, good tent for sure, and you need good boots just because you can have frostbite and all. And yeah, gear is must if you go in such expeditions in like in winters and cold season.
And did you have that kind of gear?
Yeah, I was just working to buy that stuff and to be on the road. Like whatever job I get, the only reason I wanted to work is to get back on the road.
Okay. And I think after that you went to Annapurna in Nepal.
Yes. Yeah. So
How
the plan was to
different is
do
it?
EBC. The plan was to
Okay.
EBC,
EBC is?
and they didn't Everest Base Camp on a bicycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I planned everything on that for 2 months or something, and there was a person I met. His name is Mike Roy. He's a very good friend of mine. He rode from South Korea to South India. So he was there in Pokhara, and while everything fucked up with me, not going to EBC, I went with him to spend some time riding around, and then he told me about this route, Annapurna circuit, and yeah, I just look after his photos, and I was like, yeah, I want to also be there. So yeah, that's all it took. I just went there
So it was
without
an
any planning.
impromptu
Impromptu, yeah,
decision.
completely, yeah.
So you had the route, like a GPS route, a digital route, or
Nothing,
anything.
nothing, nothing, nothing.
So you're just asking people along the way and riding.
Yeah, it's just a circuit and very popular circuit where people are on the foot or on the horses or but and then I thought like why can't I do it on a bike? Like if there are
Yeah.
horses running on those trails, but
So this
I
is you riding, I presume.
yeah, crossing some bridge near Pokhara.
So was a lot of your cycling with you on the cycle or the cycle on you?
I guess cycle on me when it comes to Annapurna circuit. I remember last of the 3 days from Thorang Ferry to Manang. That is a stretch in Annapurna circuit. So you have to cross the Thorangla and come down to Manang, and it was all snow. So 3 days of pushing the bike in the snow, getting on it to the shoulders, and just pushing and pushing, all that.
Is this some of the pushing?
Yeah, it was before that, but yeah, road
Okay.
seems to be like the same there. But this is
Yeah.
a wider trail. I think the
Okay.
largest trail was this big.
I think I have a picture of that as well. Is this the
Yeah,
one?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is the one.
So,
Yeah,
so you had
this was
snow as well along the way.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. 3 days of snow and mud.
Wow. So
Yeah.
it was more of pushing than less of riding.
Less of riding. If it comes to crossing the pass. I was there in a wrong season where
Okay.
people did that like completely on the bicycle itself. But
Okay.
if there is so much snow that you can't ride on snow, you just have to
Yeah.
push
Yeah.
through the snow and all. Yeah.
So how enjoyable is it to push your bike?
I kind of enjoy it. The slower I am, I enjoy everything.
Okay. Okay. You get to take more photographs and more breaks.
More photographs and chill, make my own coffee
Yeah.
and all.
Okay. So you carry your coffee equipment with you when you're riding.
Yeah, I also carry a mocha pot with me and some stuff and all, so I can make coffee.
Okay. So someone just now asked you what all do you carry in your uh, long ride. Let me just get the name of the person. Just a second. Purvi again asks what all do
Okay.
you carry in your long distance ride?
It all depends on the terrain, and if I am on the flat roads, not in the Himalayas or anywhere in the mountains, so I prefer to use panniers, which are two bags in the front, two bags in the back, and one handlebar bag. So mostly I carry 3 seasons of when it comes to Jaipur Malaysia, 3 seasons of clothing. And if something broke down from the bike, I have to carry that, like brake levers and all, brake pads,
Okay.
chain lube, cleaners and all, and
So
food
how,
stuff, sleeping bag, camp, and mostly a house, a small house on the bike.
so how much does your luggage weigh?
Uh, I think that was 45 to 50 kgs.
Wow, that is a big
Yeah.
house, not a small house.
Yeah. Carrying coffee and food with you just because you don't know where you will end up on that night
Yeah,
and you don't know what will come next.
yeah.
So you have to be
So,
prepared at least for coming few days.
yeah. So Dhruvan Raja PK asks, which is the biggest objective, speed or distance in touring?
Distance, speed doesn't matter. Like I know people who just ride 35 kilometers a day and they are still happy and they covered entire world doing that. So speed is not a thing here in long distance riding.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it is also when it comes to endurance, one of my friend Vedangi Kulkarni, she did entire world in 160 days alone solo.
Okay. Yeah,
So it
okay.
depends what kind of expedition you are looking for.
Ah, yeah. It's basically what is your goal. People's goals are
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay, so another question from Danny Nazu is how do you deal with fears while touring camping, be it wildlife or natural disasters, or are you more afraid of human beings?
I am more afraid of human beings, to be really honest. Yeah. Like I don't mind if a bear crossed my campsite or
Yeah,
a dog or wild pig or anything, but
yeah.
humans can be dangerous than the animals.
Why?
I don't know. It's my personal feeling that I can be harmed more than more from humans than animals.
Okay. And tell us about your crazy ride, I think, which you did with Sudhanshu Verma
Oh yeah, that was
from
back in
in.
2019. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Tell us about that one.
So there is a trail coming from Baralachla to Chandratal. Nobody have ever did it on a bicycle. And Sudhanshu was in Zanskar, and we just ended up meeting in Darsha, and we had 2 days talk. We had a talk before, but we were not sure that we will do it together or not. Then he decided he will join me, and we both set off. First day it was amazing. Second day amazing. Third day it started fucking our entire body. It is
Uh,
big boulders. You have to carry your bicycle on your shoulders, drag your bicycle entire way, crossing the bone freezing river. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
That is the
that
photo.
doesn't that
Cross
doesn't
it.
quite look like a trail. Huh? That looks more like a entire
It
river you're
was
swimming
complete
through.
wilderness. The only species I saw was one eagle in 5 days, and then some people rescuing me from that camp.
Did you say you're afraid of water? That is probably
Yeah,
frozen water, ice cold water.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the story behind this was it. We were standing in front of this. river which was making us, crazy that will we able to cross it or not. So Sudhanshu was finding a patch that which way to go, and we both were scared from the water, and I was extremely scared. I just opened my shoes, tied up on my shoulder, hung up my bike. I just left. I see whatever happens, happens. And yeah, till the one third of the river was very slowly, calmly. I took one step wrong, and my half body was inside the water. And I
Wow.
just threw my bike on other side and then came back. When it comes to Sudhanshu, we throw a rope just because the similar thing doesn't happen. So we
Yeah.
threw a rope. He tied up in his waist, and I
Okay.
have to pull
Pull him
him.
through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So that is
but
a picture of the both
yeah,
of you,
we
I think.
both, yeah, we
Is,
both
is
were
that is
crazy
that you
doing
all
this.
celebrating alive? That
Alive,
we are
yeah, yeah,
alive,
we
yay!
are alive. Yeah, yeah. But this
Yeah.
tour was more than having realization of risking yourself. This was my favorite coffee stop in my entire life. It was
Wow.
so good. We stopped there just to have coffee. I
Wow.
was
I don't know
like,
about the
dude, we
coffee, but
have
the
to have a
scenery is
coffee here.
amazing. Yeah. Incredible, incredible. So yeah, we have a question here from Shivam Sanatra.
Yeah.
What tent and sleeping bags do you use?
Again, it depends from which terrain. I have a normal sleeping bag which ends till 0 degree. I have 0 to 10 and 0 to 15, minus 15.
Okay. And our slug life says, don't miss the break story before starting.
Oh, okay. Huh, yeah. So Ranchu we both had hydraulic brakes back then, and his one brake was not good, which was the rear brake. And, you know, we didn't find the oil for that, and I just put the engine oil on that brake. Bleed that, made it happen, and then we started off.
Wow, this was before you started off on this trip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay, Danny asks another question. Is it recommended to bike pack solo? Because finding someone of your personality is hard, and then how do you deal with fights? Okay, that is a regular question, I'm sure. How do you deal with fights?
Uh,
Did you and Sudhanshu
See,
fight?
uh, y- not fights, but arguments. But I was so happy that
Yeah,
it is very hard to find that companion who can,
true,
be there for you.
true.
And I knew that Sudhanshu was also not feeling well when the rescue day happened. He has to walk the entire 16 kilometers, get the rescue team, and we were not even sure what is there after, what is coming next. So he said for the help. We were just looking for porters, and there were some 10 people from Chandratal camp. They came to rescue me, and we just have to hike from there to Chandratal camp, and then I was sent to the hospital. I
Why did
had
you need rescuing?
I got hypoxic lung injury where I was puking froth from my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
one fourth of my lung was damaged because of that.
so, did you recover from that completely,
I
or
am still
how did
recovering.
it go?
That's why I'm here.
Wow, that's a long time. That is a
Yeah.
long time. Patlancha Subits says, tell me a story about your random kindness experiences you had along the way.
Kindness experiences. Uh, there's so many, like you don't know, and you just have to trust yourself and the people who are there for you. And some
Yeah.
random people come, and there's one more story that people will love. I was in Thailand, and there was one man who was cooking something, and he just shouted, uh, "Where are you going?" in Hindi. And I went. I was so happy that there's a similar tongue after a very long time. And I went with him, and he told me he's from Pakistan. And for the
Okay.
first view, we saw those Pakistanis like the not the brothers, okay,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah.
man treated me so well.
Yeah.
And when I was about to pay him, he said like मैं भाइयों से पैसे नहीं लेता हूँ. So that kind of
Wow.
a gesture you get from the road.
Yeah. 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 True. Sindhu Malar Anahata is
Uh-huh.
asking, how safe is it for girls to go for solo cycle touring in India?
I would suggest you should go and check out Vedangi's Kulkarni's profile. It's called Wheels and Words. And she has been around the world solo, and she's a really good rider, amazing and adventurer. Yeah, she's from Pune, but she lives in UK, based in UK nowadays.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to know more about it, she can help you better than me.
Okay. Vedangi, that is.
Vedangi, that is, yeah.
Lovely. One last thing about your trips. In last year's lockdown, you went riding in your hometown, around your hometown.
Yes, exactly, in Aravlis. So,
Yeah.
you know, when you are on the road for so long, you can't stay inside your house. And lockdown made me do that. And I was super frustrated what to do next. I want to be out there. And when the things were slowly calmed down, I just looked at the map where I used to go hiking when I used to live in Jaipur. So I decided a route which was 2 days route. Yeah. That's
That's
camping in front of uh, Amer Fort, some hill.
beautiful. That is a beautiful shot, man. Lovely.
Yeah,
This is, I'm pretty sure. This, I think,
yeah,
is like your first stretch in the morning. I just got up.
yeah, yeah. So you see that wall, entire wall. You have to climb that
Yeah.
entire wall, pushing the bike or taking it on your shoulder. But you
Along the
have,
that ledge,
yeah.
along
The
that
ledge.
narrow ledge. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is, that
But
would be
it's
tiring.
worth. Yeah, it is worth to go there. Yeah.
Okay. And you can see the entire city from up there?
Yeah, entire city and Jal Mahal if you can look like concentrately there. Yeah. Oh, you got the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Jal Mahal right there.
Jal Mahal in the morning when I came down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So one question, like a lot of people when they think about going touring, they always think that they want to go somewhere really far. But with the Aravali ride, you did it like in your hometown. So
Yeah, like it doesn't
can someone
matter. You
start
just
off?
have to start. You just have to, experience and start building your confidence day by day. And just go for, weekend rides with your friends and camp. One of my friends, he came back to India for a month or something, and he said, I also wanted to do this, but he didn't have much time. So we both rode around 50, 60 kilometers outskirts of Jaipur, and then we camped. Like we did whatever I did it on my tour back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be, always plan a very long trip. You can always do it on 2 days trip. Like
Yeah.
just get used to being on the bike.
So I think we'll move to our second section now about where you
Yeah.
can give us some advice about how to start cycle touring in India. The first question is, do you
Yes.
need a special bike to go touring? Do you need anything
In
specific to go touring?
See, it all depends what kind of a person you are. If you are looking for a luxury ride, you should go with the bike. If you just wanted to experience what the roads will give you, you just need a bicycle and a backpack. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't need anything special.
Yeah, and if you're planning a long tour, just put some panniers and all. And it's not like you go and buy those expensive panniers. Go with the nearest bag maker shop. He will just give him the dimension. He'll make it, and
Okay.
it won't cost more than $1,000. So
Okay, that is pretty reasonable.
yeah.
And what about steel? Most of the touring bikes are steel. Do
Steel,
you
yes,
use a
just
steel bike?
yeah. That's my Jaipur Malaysia one bike. I still use
Okay.
it. I
Okay.
call it patience.
Patience.
Patience, Ninta.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
very nice. Okay,
yeah.
but do you need steel only to go touring, or can you
I
use an
use a
aluminum bike?
steel hard trail bike. So I love steel bikes. Like
Okay.
when it comes to steel bikes, I love them.
Would you go touring on a carbon bike?
No, just
Okay.
because if something happens to the frame, you just have to change the entire frame. But if something happens to the steel bike frame, just go to the local welder. He'll weld it, fix it for you, and off you go.
That's the biggest
So
advantage of steel.
yeah, biggest advantage of the steel.
Okay, so we have a question from Grayson Kuriakos. Uh, how do you manage your daily toilet habits when you go touring? especially when you're out camping?
You just have to get used to it, to be really honest. First
Yeah.
of all, like when it all started, I also wanted, some clean toilets and some good facilities around here and then. And then
Yeah.
you just get used to it in the
Yeah.
morning. You just don't even care where you're sitting.
Okay. And another thing is, just say that. What are the type of luggage systems that you can use to go touring?
Yeah. So for the beginners, I would just suggest like put on a rack on behind your bike, put the backpack and leave. And if you want to have like, um, everything is distributed equally and separately, just find good panniers or like I said, ask someone to make it for you. So panniers are really good. Compared to bike packing setup, I really like bike packing setup just because it, makes your bikes lighter and compact. But it's really a struggle with the setup. Like if you want something, but it's something inside, then you have to take out everything just to get
Yeah.
that small thing.
Yeah.
So in panniers, that's the biggest advantage. You just have to unwrap your bag, put your hand inside, get that thing.
So Danny asks, is bike packing setup better than the panniers one?
Depends what kind of person you are. Like if you are, a patient guy, you can deal with, and you don't need many things like a mocha pot around your rides.
Yeah.
So you can use bike packing setup. Like I said, I love using bike packing setups, but every time I would prefer pannier setup just because it makes things more easier for you.
Since you
Yeah.
do a lot of camping, what are the things you keep in mind while setting up camp, while doing any of that?
I would suggest find a place where there are no more, like not so many people. You can sleep nicely. And if you're camping near cities, make sure you are not camping in somebody's private property. And I used to camp in petrol pumps, fire stations, police stations, like discussed below before.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you'll get used to it once you start being in the camp. Like you will not find a very wonderful place in one day. You will just,
Yeah.
have to struggle your day out and find something beautiful for your own. And you will get used to it. It's not a 1 day or 2 days thing. You will get used to it slowly, slowly.
Sindhu Malar Anahata has another question: is hybrid bike good for touring?
Yes, definitely. My Kashmir Kanyakumari tour was on a hybrid Merida Crossway 40 something.
And it didn't break.
No, no, no. I really like the bike. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have good 40C tires, you can go anywhere. There is a friend of mine. He's a big fan of 35C. He has done Spiti Valley in 35C and Thailand to Malaysia. Like he's in love with 35C. He is using a Fuji touring bike, but he loves to get the 35C specifically tires for him.
Okay.
So yeah, it
And
all depends on tires, wheel
tire
size.
size, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ride at night? Rides in
I
3 or
used
4
to.
cars?
I used to
Okay.
ride, depends. In mountains, I just stop around 5-ish or 6-ish
Okay.
when the sun is setting down. I just find a place to camp or sleep. And
Yeah. And how do you protect your bike while you camp?
so there's a story I'll tell you. While I was coming I was camping somewhere in Nepal only. I just took my one wheel and put it in the camp. That thing can also be done, or just leave the bike. Nobody cares. Nobody will touch your bike.
Just don't put the MRP of your bike on the bike up
Bike
there.
and all. Yeah, 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 yeah. I just tell
Yeah.
that my bike costs 6,000 rupees every time since
That's
the
a
day
good
I started.
that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Inflation has not increased the 6,000 rupees to 8,000 even now.
No, I would just go like it's just stuck on my tongue. 6,000, sir.
Okay, this is a little tricky question. What is your weight to cost ratio of a sleeping bag or tent, especially in Indian conditions?
Yeah, it depends on your pocket. And there are companies in India which came up along last few years who are making good camping equipment in a budget And there's one I know, it's called Kefi Outdoors from Delhi. So
Okay.
he makes good tents and sleeping bags. Not for extreme conditions, but yeah, you can rely on them if you want a pocket friendly gears for yourself.
Okay. Okay. And when you're riding, do you take any particular care of nutrition? Do you eat anything specifically?
I eat anything. I love food.
Okay, so you don't bother about overeating, undereating, anything like that.
No, like specifically, no. I just
Okay.
love to have different kind of food. But there are some places you'll get so, random food. Like one day I was again somewhere in Southeast Asia, they just served me earthworm soup. I didn't even know that earthworm is alive or dead inside my mouth. So yeah. Food is
Yeah.
like whatever you get, you know, to fill your belly and give you energy to ride
True.
the next day.
And like if someone wanted to go for a tour, a 10-day tour in India, how much does it cost? How much would you end up spending for riding 10 days?
See, it depends what kind of person you are. Like when I was riding Kashmir Kanyakumari, I only spent 5K entire tour from Kashmir to Kanyakumari.
For
Like
24 days.
yeah, 5K. That's all. I used to sleep in gurdwaras, camp, or like sleep anywhere. I just don't mind that. And when it comes to a long distance, I make sure I don't spend more than 500 to 1,000 rupees a day. Just
Okay.
because I have to go very long. And if
Yeah.
you just wanted to go for 10 days, just set a budget how much do you have and divide it into the days and that how much will you able to spend. Carry your own food in your bags from your house. And Indian food have like lots of, power food. Just like
Yeah.
some gonka laddu or that peanut chikki and all.
Yeah.
Sattu. It all works.
Yeah. So you carry food always in your bag?
Yeah, yeah. For
Ready
2 days
to
at
eat
least.
food? Ready to eat
Ready
food
to
or
eat
food to
food
be cooked?
or quick food, food to be cooked, anything. Like
Okay.
sometimes I was carrying like full legit rajmas, choles everywhere, just because I love to be there and have my comfort food.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And
it
why
took me
should
a very long
yeah.
time to get used to the camping lifestyle.
Okay. And why should someone start touring in India? Why do you think someone should get up on the
This
bike
is
and
the
go?
best thing you can do it for yourself. Like you will, I have known people who regret that they have never been on the road, but never a person who have been on the road and regret that he was on the road. So
Okay.
it is a thing, and it is a complete different experience you get on the road.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had a question from Yasi because I put up the picture of yours from the Aravali's about carrying your laptop in your backpack. Is that a good idea, bad idea? What while going on long rides?
It depends if you want to use it. Like how much do you want to use it? If your cell phone or a tablet does that work, why do you want to carry a laptop? And if you want to carry a laptop, make sure you don't, put it on your shoulder. Put it in a good fleece and then put it in your panniers, but not on shoulders.
Can you put in your bike packing bag?
No, 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 no. But like, why do you want? You are away from the world, from the work.
Okay.
But there are some
Yeah.
people who
Yeah.
carry camera gears, laptops, everything, but not on bikepacking setup, on a pannier setup.
Pannier setup. All right. So basically, if you want to carry a laptop, a pannier is always more recommended.
Yeah, pannier is always good option. Yeah.
And from a question from Sahil Raul from Odisha, how do
Yeah.
your parents allow you to do all of this?
It took a very long time, to understand whatever I am doing, just because most of the people doesn't go with this streams of beat streams and all. So yeah, in the beginning it was a struggle, and then it slowly developed a relation that yeah I made peace with them, they made peace with me, and they actually support me from after I did a few tours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now they have confidence in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how scared were they when you went for your first K2K ride?
Uh, I was young. They should be. Like, not much. I used to call them, like, whatever
Okay.
happens, give them updates. Yeah.
Okay, so that helped build confidence
Yeah,
with
yeah,
your
yeah.
regular goals.
Just make it. Just don't cut off.
Uh, Okay, and another question from Chaitra is: did you ever attend college?
No, like I said, I dropped out. I have given the entrance exam. I was selected for IHM, but I never thought I will be suitable for such system.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I started living by my own, working, and
yeah,
the experience I have. Companies love to work with someone who has such experience and all,
yeah,
and that also gives you a good confidence that okay, you don't need that certificate to describe
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just the experience you have.
yeah. So, Doom Rider 16 asks: how can we make touring safer?
Think positive. That nothing gonna be happen to you. See it. Ev- um, there is a phrase in Hindi says सोचो तो सब कुछ है सोचो तो कुछ भी नहीं है तो सोचो तो सब कुछ
Uh,
अच्छा है सोचो तो सब कुछ बुरा है. So
uh,
think that, have that positive mindset, that towards the society and all, and yeah, go for it.
yeah. How do you find sponsors for your trips? Asked Danny.
Okay. It all started. My first sponsor was like I was sitting in a shop and asking for a carrier, and there was one sales guy from Merida. He was there, and I just got a call that okay, you give this Firefox to us and ride, and we will give you this bike and you ride. That's how it
Okay.
started. And
Yeah.
but when it comes to finding a sponsor, it can be really difficult,
Yeah.
and you there is a lot of long process you have to go,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I was happy that I started having support with Marin Bikes, and then the global team was involved in my tour, and
Okay.
they started cheering me up, and since till the day we had this relation, it is the same. Like they never said
Okay.
no to whatever I am doing. They will just say
Yeah.
like, off you go. There is a support from our side. So you
Lovely.
just have to build the relation, or have somebody to manage you. Like if you
Perfect.
just want to do it professionally.
Lovely. I think we've gone quite far over time on this session because we got really engrossed in it and we really
Uh huh.
enjoyed it. We already done with 55
Thank you.
minutes. I
Uh huh.
yeah. I think we shall wrap it up now.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much,
Mohit.
Avinash.
Thank you,
Yeah.
all you lovely people, for joining us today and asking so many
Yeah.
questions.
Thank you so
I
much.
think we
Yeah.
enjoyed asking Mohit all those questions. And we
Yeah.
will be back next week with Sumit Patil. We'll be talking about hydration
He's a
and
really
nutrition.
nice guy.
Yeah, hydration, and your friend of yours, hydration and
Yeah.
nutrition we'll be talking about since it's summer and really hot. So to keep you hydrated and properly well fed and fed up,
Yeah.
Sumit
Yeah.
Patil will be with us next Saturday, same time. All till then,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Mohit. Thank you, everybody. Lovely.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.